Have you ever felt like something was trying to get your attention, but you couldn't quite explain it? Maybe a pull, a whisper, or a pattern that keeps repeating in your life, almost too precise to be coincidence. That's not your imagination. That's you, another version of you from a different field of existence. A version that already knows how it all unfolds. In the quantum world, time isn't a straight line, it's layered. Which means the version of you who has already manifested everything you want exists right now. In fact, you're sending yourself the answers constantly. The real secret is learning how to recognize those signals and use them. The only reason you can't fully feel that reality yet is because your subconscious is still tied to the version of you who hasn't arrived. And today I'm going to help you change that by decoding those messages and shifting you into the version of you who already lives the life that you've been dreaming of. So what do these messages from your future self actually look like? They don't always come with flashing lights or crystal clarity. More often they show up as nudges, a conversation that catches your ear, a random idea that you can't shake, a dream that feels more like a memory, a strange alignment of events that feels too perfect to be coincidence. Oftentimes it's an inner voice that says you were meant for more than this, or a feeling that you've outgrown your current life, even if nothing's wrong. These are not distractions, they're actually breadcrumbs from the version of you who's already arrived, and when you start noticing them, not just seeing them, but trusting them, you collapse the space between who you've been and who you're becoming. Let me ask you something, and be honest with yourself. Have you noticed any of these signs lately? Little moments that made you pause and wonder if life is trying to tell you something? If so, tell me in the comments what you've been seeing or feeling. I read them, and I can't tell you how many people share similar patterns, and the more you become aware of these messages, the more clearly you'll begin to recognize their source. They do not come from outside of you, but from within, from a version of you who's already living the life that you desire. So how do you actually decode these messages? Start here. Every message from your future self is designed to remind you of who you really are. The whispers, the signs, they're not instructions, they're actually intentional interruptions meant to disrupt the version of you who's been living on autopilot. Think about the last time that something caught your attention. Something small but persistent, a phrase that kept echoing in your mind, a dream that felt too vivid to forget, a moment that made you stop and say, that was strange. That's not a coincidence. It's your future self dropping a hint, a clue, or what might be called a coded reminder, not telling you what to do, but showing you what to remember, because the version of you who already has the life that you desire doesn't ask, what do I need to do? They don't even ask, who do I need to become? They live from the state of I am, not seeking, not striving, just being that version of themselves. And that's what these messages are pointing you toward, a return to the most powerful state that you can access, the knowing that it's already done and always has been. They live in a state of who I am. So the question becomes, what version of you do these signs belong to? And once you know that, the decoding becomes simple, and you can actually step into the identity that naturally receives those messages and that life. This is where clarity lives and where action becomes obvious. This is where the shift happens. But here's what no one tells you: when you start shifting into that new I am state, your future self, your current reality might resist, and sometimes things even begin to fall apart, not because you're doing something wrong, but because your old identity is unraveling, and it has to in order for a full integration of the new self, the version of you that was anchored in fear, doubt, limitation, or even a lifestyle that feels boring or mundane. Won't always go quietly. It clings to the familiar, because that's what the subconscious mind does for what it feels are safety purposes. You might feel disoriented, emotional, or like things are being stripped away, and sometimes they are, but not to punish you, to clear space for the version of you who's already living the life that you've been asking to live, already living the life that's waiting for you to finally claim it. And I go through this too. Every time I step into a new level of myself, something old has to break off. And yes, it can feel uncomfortable until you realize it's actually working, but that discomfort isn't a sign to turn back. It's a sign that you're getting closer and to stay the course. So now that you understand what those messages are and where they come from, we're going to do something that most people never take the time or have the courage to do. We're going to cross the threshold and complete an integration, not just imagine a different version of your life, but actually step into direct connection with the version of you who's already living it. This process will allow you to access a deeper intelligence within you that already knows the way forward. Your subconscious mind, when guided the proper way, doesn't just respond to suggestion, it will actually rewire itself to reflect a new identity. And that's what we're about to do. And the moment you complete this Process something inside of you is going to shift. You may not see it on the surface right away, but your inner landscape will no longer be the same, and that's where the transformation takes place. So, give yourself the next few minutes fully, and you can use this process as many times as you like to continue building those neural pathways that change who you are internally, and from there it's going to ripple outward into everything in your life. So if you're ready, let's begin. Allow yourself to get into a comfortable position, either sitting or lying down, and just close your eyes and take a slow, deep breath in through your nose. Hold it for a moment and then gently exhale through your mouth. Again, a deep breath in and a soft release. With every breath, feel your body settling further, shoulders softening, jaw unclenching, the muscles behind your eyes releasing, and just let your thoughts slow down. No need to analyze or figure anything out, just be here. There's nothing to do, nothing to fix. You're safe in this space. Your thoughts may still drift in and out, but that's okay. Just return to your breath, breathing at a pace that feels comfortable to you, and with each breath, maybe your mind opens just a little bit more into a calm, open state, drifting into that soft, receptive place. The space between thought and knowing, a state where change is natural and where your subconscious mind listens. And now in this relaxed state, I want you to imagine yourself standing on a quiet stretch of land. This is a place between worlds, and you may recognize that the ground beneath you is soft and timeless, and how the air hums with stillness. And in the distance, perhaps you can see two figures approaching you. One stands slightly to your left, and the other slightly to your right. The figure on the left is the version of you who has carried the weight of your past, the one who's lived through it all, who adapted, who kept you safe when the world felt uncertain. This version of you has operated through logic, protection, survival, and calculation, always trying to make sense of the unknown. They represent the part of your mind rooted in structure, in what has been and what is known. And to your right stands the version of you who already knows what's possible, the one who lives in vision, creativity, expansion, the one who's not concerned with survival because they're already thriving. This is your right brain consciousness, the gateway to your higher self, the you who knows how to create from imagination, from belief, from I am. And now, as you remain still in the center, these two versions of you move towards you. The figure on the left, your past self, looks at you with tired eyes, not with sadness, but with deep understanding. You've carried so much together, patterns, fears, the need to control. And now it's time to let that go. Between you and your past self appears a small fire. This fire is a sacred space for release, and the old self reaches into their pocket and gently removes a symbol of what they've carried, a burden, a belief, a repeating loop, pattern, or life theme that no longer belongs to you, something you are both ready to let go of. They hold it for a moment and then gently release it into the flame, and you both watch as it dissolves. No drama, no resistance, just peace. And as this release completes, the old self turns to you and nods. Their work is music done, and you may thank them now, because without them you wouldn't be standing here. And as you offer your gratitude, maybe you notice a soft light beginning to gather behind them. It calls to them as a return to wholeness, a return to peace. And the old self takes one final look at you, and you can feel their pride. They did their job, and now they are free. And maybe you can watch as they step into that light, becoming lighter and softer until they dissolve completely into the field. Not gone, not lost, but free and healed, integrated back into the greater intelligence that has always been guiding music, you. And now you may turn to your right, to that version of you who has already made it through music, the one who already lives the life that you've been dreaming of as daily experience. This version of you radiates calm certainty. There's no rush, no doubt. They know who they are. They move through life with ease and grace because they don't second guess their worth. They don't negotiate their vision. They've already created the relationships, the success, the abundance, the peace, and the joy that you've been reaching for, and you can feel it radiating from them because their energy is magnetic. I see, and not because they try, but because they simply are. And maybe you want to take a look at their face, their posture, the way they stand in their power. This is you, just beyond the veil of your past. And the figure isn't standing there waiting, they're ready, because this version of you doesn't hesitate. They step forward with strength, ease, and clarity, and as they approach, you may feel something beginning to shift. They're not here to hand you something, and they're not here to fix you because you were never broken. They are here to show you the way back to your true self, to teach you how to walk as they walk, and to help you remember what it feels like to live from that complete knowing. Music, they carry the blueprint for both your desires and your becoming, and the moment that you allow them and they begin to awaken parts of you that have been Dormant your inner wisdom, your courage, your peace, your creative power. Their mere presence is a transmission, a message that says you're ready now. It's time. And just before they step completely forward, they look into your eyes and speak directly to the deepest part of you, and you may hear it as words or feel it as a knowing, but the meaning is unmistakable. The message is, I've been waiting for you to remember you've always been me, and now you're ready to live as I live, to create as I create, to lead from knowing instead of waiting. And with that, they step forward with strength, ease, confidence, and clarity into your body, into your being, merging with you fully. And you may feel your posture returning, your breath expanding, your mind quieting with this full and complete alignment. And as this transition completes, you are now seeing through the eyes of the one who already knows, the one who isn't searching, because they've remembered the truth of who they are. You are the message, you are the sign, and you are the one that you've always waited for. Stand in this feeling for a moment and let it move through your body. What thoughts have you been able to release now, and what fears have you now let go? Music of breathe deeply and feel the full integration taking hold of you. Just let this version of you settle into every cell, as if your entire body now carries the memory of who you really are. No rush, just a soft awareness that something has shifted, and that shift is now part of you. And from this moment on, whenever you place your hand gently over your heart or repeat the words, I remember, your mind and body will return to this state of knowing, as if every cell within you whispers back, I am, and you can begin to bring your attention back to the present, still holding that truth within you. Take a deep breath in and exhale, and when you're ready, you can gently open your eyes. And now tell me, what did you feel during that experience? What does your future self show you or teach you? What message do you think you received today? I'd love to hear about it in the comments. And if you feel it, claim it. You can write, I remember who I am, because the moment you remembered, your entire reality began to shift. This is how you begin living from alignment, not chasing signs, but becoming the one who sends them. And if you felt something shift today, honor it, let it guide your choices. And if you'd like to go deeper into this kind of work, into subconscious information, identity shifting, and manifestation at the quantum level, I've placed something powerful for you in the pinned comment below. But above all else, remember this: the life you dream of isn't in the distance, it's a reality now, and it's always been reaching for you.